$104. Are you kidding me, bro? For eggs.
What do you mean?
$104 for
how
a
many?
carton.
What do you mean carton?
Like a carton, like a
Like a
massive
box?
carton. It's
Like how
180
many?
eggs.
180 eggs?
Yeah. You know how much they used to be, bro? Let me just give you an insight. They used to be $35. It went up to
35 to 100? That's
it's 104 bucks.
4 eggs.
Like, yeah, 4 eggs, bro. Look at it, $104.
Eggs going up, but... This podcast is proudly brought to you by Rain Capital. Are you a first-time home buyer or in search of your dream home? Rain Capital is here to guide you through the mortgage process, ensuring you get the best rates and expert advice. Take the stress out of home financing with Rain Capital, your key to a seamless home buying experience. If you're in the Sydney area, definitely give them a call. They're a friend of ours. I've left the link down below. You can check them out on their website as well. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jam Lakyan. Today we are with probably my favorite guest, because it's not just a special guest, he's one of my best friends. He's the owner and co-founder of one of probably the best cookies in Sydney, and probably one of the best cafes in Sydney as well. Ali Barakat.
Yes.
My boy.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
Been a long time.
Yeah, 5 years ago, I remember during COVID, I started doing this on like Instagram Live.
Yeah.
And I think it was either you or Andre were my first guests, but I think it was you.
Yeah.
And Joe Boy as well. And now 5 years later, so much has changed.
Yeah, I think I was episode 1 or 2.
Yeah, episode 1 or 2. It was you, Andre, Joe Boy. I remember one of them.
Yeah. I had this massive beard. I still remember it.
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't shaved in like 9 years.
And I just remember when I created this channel, I wanted to have people on that was starting something, creating something, not just entrepreneurs, but someone that was just creating, because, you know, as humans, we are meant to create because we are a reflection of God, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we're at the happiest, the Happy Alley. We're at the happiest when we are creating. And looking back now, 5 years later,
Crazy.
it's insane, because I think at the time when I had you on the pod, it wasn't even for Happy Alley. It was for Albie Smiles.
That's right.
As a DJ. And I think 2020, what were you doing?
2020, I think I had just left Mrs. Fields. I think I moved away from Mrs. Fields at that time, and I was like, you know what, I got to start doing something alone. And then I started focusing on obviously production and a lot of DJing and stuff like that. Yeah. I think that's probably why the Albie Smiles podcast happened then. But obviously, you know, Sydney's nightlife was kind of falling apart, and we had to do something different, man. So I think Happy Alley was, you know, I think it's a great story, you know, starting from home, and, you know, the fruition of it coming this far is, it's amazing, man.
Exactly. It's cool, because like you just mentioned, you were working at Mrs. Fields. Oh, you were co-owner of Mrs. Fields with GK, one of our other best friends.
Yeah.
So what made you want to open up your own cafe?
To be fair, Mrs. Fields, obviously, any franchise is based on, you know, what they provide you with. You know, nothing more, nothing less. You provide with an item or products. You're basically baking on site, and then you're presenting that to a customer. For me, I wanted more. I wanted to create my own recipes, my own products. I had the passion, I had the drive for it, and I thought, you know what a better time to do it now that everything's kind of shut down, gone to absolute crap. Take this time to perfect recipes and do my thing before obviously the world goes back to normal.
Yeah, I remember even this started during COVID because we had so much time.
Yeah.
But I also remember you even drove some cookies down to Blacktown a few times. Like you were doing drop-offs in Western Sydney.
Just cookies, nothing else.
Yeah, just cookies. And I remember that was your start.
Yeah.
You know, what's some of the core memories you remember of day one of Happy Alley?
To be fair, it's more of the transitions, you know, that transition from leaving a shopping center, working, you know, face to face with people, going to a dark kitchen, which was my mum's house.
I remember.
And absolutely ruining that, you know, that house pretty much. I think that transition itself, you know, those memories that I made, you know, staying up till 4 a.m. and baking these cookies because I had, you know, multiple orders to ship out the next day or drive the next day because obviously you couldn't, you know, because of COVID, you couldn't go places and stuff like that. I think that's what resonates with you the most. I think that hard, I think that's probably the hardest I've worked in my life to make this happen. I'll be honest with you.
Because how many cookies do you think you would bake like throughout a day to send over around?
So we had a double decker oven to just to give you a kind of perspective. So now we have 34 trays oven now, and back then I only had 2-tray oven, just to show you how far we've come. And then and back then it was pretty much we're baking around 16 cookies every production, so 15 minutes. And yeah, that was the whole thing about it. Is like you can think about how many cookies you had to make at every like 15 minutes to keep rolling through.
Was there ever a time during that period, and even when you set out at Rockdale by the station, that you ever thought about like it's too hard or?
Oh yeah. Oh, not even setting up in the next to the station. I think even being at home. Yeah. Man, being at home was the hardest thing because obviously you're working with the smallest parts of equipment. You've got small mixers. It was difficult, man. Yeah, really hard, really hard. But you gotta make it work. You just gotta keep grinding.
What sacrifices do you think you personally had to make to build this?
Many. Well, obviously, many financial sacrifices. Obviously, nothing's set in stone. Nothing's guaranteed, and that's probably the hardest thing to kind of grasp before you do things like this. But I think faith, and obviously, you know, I had so much help from my wife, Fatma. You know, social media wise, she was, you know, onto it. So like she was so creative, and she was really productive, and she made things work, to be fair. And she helped me out so much when we were starting. So we got that recognition from people beyond just the area, to get me. So beyond Rockdale, beyond, you know, Hurstville and all these little areas around us, we started getting people from out west and out east flocking through to grab a sandwich from a little hole in the wall, you know? So that's where kind of I had this, it wasn't, you know, a guarantee, but it was faith that we can take this even further.
Bigger,
Yeah, even further, yeah.
How much of a help has social media been?
Oh, massive. If you're not on social media these days, you're not doing it right. I know it's hard and it takes time, and but like coming from a team, Happy Alley, that went from, you know, I think our page went from, I think we had it at 600 people, and we just clocked 21,000. Coming from that, I'm a big believer that most your success at the moment will come from hard work, obviously your product, but also social media. And that's that recognition.
Sure.
Yeah, 100%. Because people, like even the oldies are now
off.
They 100%. Have to.
It's legacy media is going. We know, everyone knows that it's going downwards. And I always tell people, even people that that I come across, that when I'm on the metro or I'm on the train, all you ever see is when you look left and right is that everyone is doing this. So if you want to succeed in today with business or your own personal brand, if you're a fighter or anything, whatever, if you're an athlete, that you need to have a good social media presence because all the attention is here. Everyone's here.
Without doubt.
Yeah. What's something people don't see behind the scenes of running a cafe?
Oh, so much. If it's, to be fair, it depends on how big your cafe, you know, whatever, your bakery, your cafe, whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter how big it is really. You're working like around the clock, you know? It doesn't stop. There's always, you know, things happening. If things aren't happening, then your cafe is not doing that great. I'll be honest with you, because it's such a hard, it's such a hard field. Hospitality is like extremely difficult not to veer anyone off it. It's you got to have the passion and the drive for it. But it's such a tough place to be. It's just our bakers wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock to be here, to bake, to make, to produce. Then your other kitchen team is in at like 6 or 7 to create and all these little things. So really it's around the clock. And then when we finish, we have our cleaners come in and then getting ready for the nights or, what's coming next. So it's around the clock. It's 24/7. Your brain's always, working and trying to make sure that everything's running smoothly. And at the end of the day, everything kind of falls back on you. If your staff aren't working hard enough or, doing the right thing, it comes back on you. And if council comes in, something's wrong, it comes back on you. So
it must be even tougher in today's economy, because when I was in year 10, I'll never forget it. I had a business teacher. I think his name was Mr. Sykes. Where I remember him telling me, if I was to start a business today, what I would do, I'd open up a cafe, because my margin, this is what he would say, my margin for selling coffee, when you get the coffee beans and then you sell it, the margin's too much. But what is it in 2025?
Those margins are, it's pretty much gone. I'll be honest with you. All those margins that we used to talk about, back in the day, we used to have people that used to have a profession like, electricians, plumbers, anything. They used to be like, okay, well, let me go open a cafe. I'll get someone to run it, and it's going to be a profitable, place for me to run. That's no longer the thing. I'll be honest with you. If you look at margins, and it's funny because a lot of people come in and they complain about prices and they look at, different little things. It's only going to get worse, I believe, from here, because cost of living is becoming like insane. And, obviously the more prices go up, the harder it's going to get. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. These margins are becoming so fine. And that's why we kind of, we try to stay realistic with our prices, but at the same time, the more these guys squeeze us, the more we have to try to squeeze our customers in a way. Yeah. And it's not fair on anyone, but unfortunately that's just how it is.
Yeah, because some people, they don't understand the back end of everything that costs. Like they think, obviously you save a lot more money making coffee at home, but to have it out in the cafe, they're like, why is it $6? Why is it $7, $8? But then you don't take into consideration that you're paying like the man that's making your coffee, then the coffee cup, the coffee beans, the rent of this place, electricity, everything's all tied in. So they just think it's that coffee shouldn't be this expensive, but everything.
I believe every cost value venue should have a costing system that kind of breaks down everything we just spoke about, like from start to finish, your labor costs, literally, and you'll really be shocked, as I was, when I sit down with my general manager and he tells me, okay, well, this is the margin and this is what we've made in profit. I'm like, wow, you work this hard to make this much in profit. Where like 10 years ago, you used to make that 30% and used to go home laughing. So different times.
Different times. What shifted your mindset that helped you get to this point, do you think?
Drive. Just wanting it, man. Yeah, I think it's just, you know what? I think getting that phone call from a newspaper that you see on the news, you see in every news agency, and I think getting that phone call saying, "Hey guys, we want to put you guys in the paper," and then being on the news outlets from then till now is probably the proudest moment for me, myself, and the biggest drive point for us to keep going, because I think that's probably when you've really hit like a milestone. I don't think you've made it, because you never make it. Like, you just gotta keep, working harder. You gotta set goals and keep setting goals. Once you reach that goal, you have another goal you want to set. You want to keep going. Do you get me? Like, we always talk about goals. And I think it's probably the most important thing, man. You got to set those goals and keep
little objectives.
100%. And I don't think you ever, you never reach them. It's like trying to find yourself. Like, you get to a stage where you've reached those goals and you're like, you know what, I want to better myself.
Yeah.
Let's try with the next one.
Yeah. No, I feel you with that. We always talk about these things.
Yeah.
How do you deal with slow days, pressure, or self-doubt?
Yeah, we got a lot of those. To be fair, obviously it does bring you down a little bit. but you have to stay positive. And it's very hard to say, just stay positive. When the money's not coming in and you got staff and they have other kids or they got bills to pay, and then it's pretty much on you. Yeah. It's a big kick in the nuts. But at the same time, you just got to do more to bring it in. And that's obviously, once again, social media. Like, do more on social media, push it as much as you can. You'll see people coming through the doors. If you're just going to work 2-3 days a week in Australia, unless you're in a niche, environment and you're making money like that, then it's very hard. So I think it's definitely a big thing when you're not making money and you got the staff and you got these bills and they're piling up. It's a big stress kind of thing. But you just got to keep at it, man. Yeah. Just keep driving and keep making it happen. If it doesn't work, there's nothing wrong with finding an alternative. Do you get me? There's nothing wrong with sitting back and be like, it's not working out. We either let it go now, we do something else where we can create money, or we push this as far as we can and continue down this whole path.
Yeah. Like you were saying about being featured on, it was Good Food, yeah? Good Food. And that's part of Morning Herald? Yeah, Sydney Morning Herald. And you're saying that that's your proudest moment that you've had being in the cafe and such. Well, what does success look like now compared to when you first started?
Oh, totally different. Yeah, totally different. I think you're always grounded, but you're a lot more grounded back then because obviously you're starting off and you have to kind of stay in your lane. And it's funny because like now we talk about like collaborations that we try to reach out to people that I never would have thought we would reach out to, just because we weren't there when we first started. But now, you want to kind of collaborate with someone and you want to do something, then you reach out to people and these guys respond back. I think that's probably the difference between when we first started and where we are now. But yeah, that's massive. Honestly, it's a massive thing for us to see how far we've come. Like, no one would have like looked at us back then, but now, we've created a brand that, is recognized by a lot of people around the area, and outside the area. It's a wonderful thing to feel, man. Yeah.
Speaking of the area, so we're out here in Rockdale, which is quite close to the airport, quite close to right in the sands, and the community is quite big. Like from socials that I see a lot of the community come to support.
Yeah.
What does the role of the community of Rockdale or just surrounding suburbs of Rockdale play in your brand?
Oh, massive. Yeah, you can't do it without community help. We try to keep that. Obviously, the Happy Alley brand is all about that community drive as well. We try to give back as well as much as we can. I think without creating that community, it's very hard to make a business work, especially a hospitality business. If you don't have that kind of resource, it's pretty much a resource that you have that helps you kind of drive your business as well, because it's all word of mouth as well. So from that little shop, we had a little tight-knit community that kept on spreading the word, and people used to keep coming in because this person had told this person, and that word of mouth obviously helped us to be like, okay, well, we're confident enough to be like, let's move to a bigger place because we no longer can, accommodate with that place, to help or, provide to the community a little bit more. Right. And then obviously from that, your social media push also helps you with everybody else that wants to come in and understand what the hype is all about. Yeah. So community is a big part of your business, massive part.
Especially with Happy Alley, I'm assuming that the culture and, the Western Sydney, inner Western Sydney and Rockdale has shaped the culture of this cafe, but also the taste of the cafe, right? Like, would you say that you create products that will serve the local community?
In a way.
Or their tastes?
Yeah, I think, but you got to understand, I think the whole scene, the cafe scene itself, when you call it cafes, we're still under the cafe banner, but the cafe scene is completely changed. So these old school cafes that you see these days with like your smashed avos, I feel like they're they're not on the way out, but you have to really be innovative in those cafes to be, you know, that face of it. I think the new cafes, in a way, is what we're trying to do at the moment. We're trying to drive that, and you're seeing it a lot more now. Yeah, you're seeing sandwich shops and like these sandwich coffee shops open on every little end of the streets. Where in Marrickville, Western Sydney, man, there's places everywhere. Like it's becoming more of a, you know, it's not a fad. It's working for everybody. You know, people want to try sandwiches. They want something grab and go, and you know, once you grab and go, you can go anywhere and eat this thing. So that's the beauty of it. Where a cafe, your old school cafes, you have to sit down, you have to eat this food, and you know, it's sociable, but at the same time, it's no longer profitable, especially with the margins that you do. So I think that's probably why people are like moving away from it.
But why haven't you jumped into acai?
We still haven't. No, I'm joking. Oh mate, acai, jeez, what a war! What a, you know, no one wants to be part of that war. Nah, listen, that's a different war. Listen, I've been to a few of them. You've been to a few of them. You've tried. I actually really like it. I love it. I like acai. And you know, it's funny because I know Jacob from Thirsty Monkey, and he comes here sometimes. We sit down, we have a chat, and he's like what he is behind camera to how he is, you know, person to person is a different kind of person, because obviously he's trying to market his product, but his product, funny enough, is unbeatable. Because I've been to other freaking acai shops, and like it's either too icy or does it taste the same? Crazy. But every time I go to his shop,
perfect texture.
It's a fucking perfect. Yeah, it's a perfect texture. And I'm like this guy isn't talking shit. Yeah. It's actually like, you know, unbeatable, but like it's because he has to brand it, and he's the face of that brand. Yeah. He has to push it that way. Yeah. But listen, yeah, acai is
different book game.
It's a different beast, honestly. And hopefully the sandwich game never gets there. Yeah. But we really don't want to get there.
What was there was something that just got petrol bombed. Nah, that's negative.
That's Spanish, isn't it?
Oh,
Spanish
yeah.
Kebabs in Melbourne. Yeah, got
crazy.
Yeah. And there was another thing. Calvin Crepes.
A crepe place?
Yeah, he got firebombed. I'm not sure if these guys are firebombing their own places.
What's the difference between a Lebo and a Lebanese?
Let's break it down.
But there is a difference.
Yeah, listen, acai like it's a lot of people. It's funny because there's a cafe down the road from my house, obviously mum's house. They changed their shop from a cafe to a acai shop. It's acai.
Just jump on the trend. Yeah. Huh? If someone's watching this thinking, I want to start something, but I'm scared, what would you say to them?
If you got enough passion, once again, passion, drive. You have to have knowledge, study the market, understand what you want to do. Is it niche? Do you have the resources to do it? Do you have financial backing to do it? Then if you have all those ticked off, then you have to go for it. It's not a matter of, should I? It's a matter of do it, definitely do it. Because what do you have to lose? If you have that much passion in something and you want to do it, that's what you should be doing. Do you get me? If you don't, and you're just doing it because you think it's easy and you're going to create money,
don't do it.
Definitely don't do it in this day and age. Yeah. Like this, what we're experiencing right now is something that we've never experienced before, and it's only going to get harder.
And I think you will stop at one point when you don't have passion, because passion is the one that drives you. Like every day I love food, or, one of my best friends, Joe Boy, he has the basketball program, and he loves, inspiring the kids. So you just keep pushing. But you know what I've also noticed about, what I could say about I want to start something, but I'm scared, or people that are fearful of starting that thing. A lot of people overthink it. And when I see this, and I'm so proud of you with everything that you've created, I tell you all the time, and it's the same with some of my friends I've created their thing as well. But what I see that's very similar between those people, you people, is you guys, so first off, a lot of you didn't go to uni or study. When you say study, I'm sure it's studying the market, studying different things, but But say someone went to uni and did a business school, did this, did that. They will overthink starting a business because they will think, before I start, I need 20K. Yeah. Well, I need 50K if I don't have that. And then, down the, oh man, my projections for 3 months, like they just overthink. So they don't go ahead and do it. Yeah. And it never happens for them because they just overthink it. Right. But I feel like you, my, Joe Boy, a lot of my friends that have created something, Andre, doing things that are doing things is that they've just done it. Yeah. Along the way, it's also kind of like it's because you don't know too much that you're not overthinking anything. Do you get what I mean?
Like a lot of us have like tunnel vision, like, which is not good all the time, but tunnel vision means like you're just focused on one thing and you're going to do it. Do you get me? Like there's nothing that's going to disrupt you from anywhere else. And that's probably why.
Plus a bit of delusion as well.
100%.
Jobs, I always say it, you would never think he would have created something like that. I'm sure there's people that are close to you. Yeah. They come here, they see the videos, they see the socials, they see everything here, and they go, I would have never thought Ali would have created something like this. Because they think of you as like the guy that was always in his room playing DJ, like trying to make music.
I'm pretty sure most of my friends came here and like, get fucked. You did this. I was like, fuck you. Yeah, but yeah, that's the reaction I want because obviously it's great.
Yeah,
and it is delusion. Yeah. But yeah, studying. When I talk about studying, it's not studying. It's market studying. There's nothing wrong with going to uni and experiencing uni. That's obviously the way to go. But
yeah, it's different.
If you can have something outside of that you want to do, and doesn't require you going to uni and studying for 4, 5, 6 years of your life. So
what's one thing you wish you knew before you started Happy Alley?
One thing I knew, like how expensive shit was going to get in 2025.
Would you have started?
I would have started, but I would have finished in like 2023 when shit turned. That's probably the one thing. That's probably the only thing, just how the market was going to go. Like, let me tell you something. Chocolate is a commodity right now. So when I got a phone call from my chocolate supplier, he goes to me, chocolate's going up. I didn't understand what he meant. He goes, chocolate's going up. And then a week later, it went up by 50%, which I'm talking a box of, I used to buy my Belgian chocolate for $125. Yeah. $250.
That's crazy.
And now it's at almost $330. So just to show you, like these little things you're not ready for. You're never ready for these things. So once it happens and your business can't, you can't next day be like, oh yeah, I'm putting my prices up. Let's put everything up by $2-3 each. Then that's just on you. It's on your business. So that's probably one thing that I would have wished I knew.
In this box, we have 3 questions that you're going to, 3 questions, and you're going to pick it out, and I'm going to tell you that question. So it's a bonus round for you. Sweet. All right. Bonus. All right. This question says, name one habit or routine that keeps you grounded, or that has kept you grounded.
One habit or routine?
Yeah.
That's keeping me grounded. Probably training. Yeah. More of obviously something that keeps me grounded, keeps me in line. If I need to, get away from everything, I've gone to the gym, even my music, like that's probably the 2 things that will kind of keep me grounded and keep me in line is probably my music and my gym routines.
Yeah,
it's my getaway.
Yeah.
My getaway.
I think that's a lot, especially for men. We've discussed this on many pods before with some of the other boys. Is men like to keep things in. A lot of men. I don't. I like talking to people about everything. Right. To my closest. Yeah, and GK. Yeah. But
GK doesn't pick anything.
But going to the gym, you'll find some of your best friends at the gym because people that are at the gym are like looking after themselves. They're trying to get the best out of themselves. Yeah. And it's also an escape to be able to discuss things and talk with people about things. But yeah, I feel like a lot of men don't. So, you know what's sad? what's sad to me is that a lot of men don't have that outlet.
Yeah.
Don't have that friend. Don't have those people to speak to.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's the same with you or you, but going to the gym or even just speaking out to some of your best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I think communication with your mates rather than your spouse or your partner is a totally different thing. Or even with your family and your mother and your father, it's totally different. I think that perspective you get from the outside, which is your mates that you don't see on day-to-day basis sometimes, always helps a lot more. Even though sometimes it's not it's not constructive, but it's always like out there, and it's always good to be sitting down with these guys and like, you just blurt it out. You feel a lot more comfort and just openness. Feel like you're
But it's good.
You're free. Yeah, 100%. You need to do it. I think that's probably why you have a great circle of mates that you can kind of go to.
Yep.
And that's the most important thing, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to say, in my life, when you say closest or the great circle of mates, I got to say that you are one of, if not one of the best ones that I can always reach out to. You inspire me a lot, and I always tell you this. I don't have to say it on camera, but yeah, you know how I feel about you. Thank you for doing this. We got a lot out of that. Yeah, for sure, and we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah,
but
with the Albie Smiles.
with Albie Smiles, we'll talk about DJing.
Yeah.
And producer Albie Smiles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to say I'm very proud of you. I'm going to show this, and you'll see. You can follow them on Happy Alley and Albie Smiles.
Guys, if you see this video and you come down and you mention Jem's podcast, I'm going to give you guys a free cookie.
You heard that.
Free cookie, man.
So I'm not going to clip it. I won't clip this.
No, don't clip
But
it.
if they watch this on YouTube.
Yeah. Watch it and just mention the podcast, and you come down to Happy Alley and just mention the podcast, I'm going to give out free cookies, man.
Happy Alley.
Free cookies.
Well,
You can't say no to that.
We didn't even go around it or like speak about it,
Yeah.
but the past few months has been wild. I just want to end it on this note that the past 2 months has been a dream come true. Something that we never, ever, 10 years ago when we were, probably right now, I think, where would we be right now 10 years ago? It's May, June. We would be in like Mexico or...
Yeah, it would have been in Mexico. We would have been somewhere in the States.
Because 4th of July is Vegas.
Wow.
So maybe
We're traveling.
we'd maybe be in New York or Miami. Yeah. We were gone for
3
months.
3 months. We got to travel for 3 months just in a row without having to feel the pressures of life 10 years ago. And now if you took 3 months off now, you'd probably you'd be like, I'm not coming back to Australia. I was supposed to stay.
3 months. We had no responsibilities. We both quit. We both quit and said like, can you imagine? All at once, we all quit. We were just like, we're quitting. We're done. And then we went away for 3.5 months.
I'll never forget that conversation I had. I think it was Hobbsy. I was like, yeah, I'm finishing. Like, yeah, I had a feeling in.
And then he was there with us anyway. And, right now we'd be somewhere in America 10 years ago, and all the things that we did and, all the fun that we had, we never would have said like, bro, how about 10 years from now, we find our missus, yeah, and then we get married in the same week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Forever, bro.
Crazy. Love it.
Thank you, bro. I love you, bro.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
Guys, make sure to subscribe, like, share all the funny clips or your favorite clips from this on Instagram or TikTok. And follow Happy Alley and Albie Smiles. And we'll see you next time. Hey.